There was some internet issue, so I changed my position. I shifted to another room. Good morning.
2 minutes will start.
Okay.
Good morning to everyone. So this is Katyani from Vyasa department. So we are organizing a webinar on Delta awareness. So I heartily welcome my guest speaker, Dr. Chandralekha N, who is assistant professor from Department of Pharmacology, Fadamullah Medical College, Mangalore. So she has completed her MBBS in 2010 and MD Pharmacology in 2015, and till date she is serving as assistant professor in Fadamullah Medical College, which is situated at Mangalore. So we heartily welcome you, ma'am. So we won't take a long time. So I request you to start the seminar.
Thank you, Katyayani, for that introduction. A very good morning to you all. So, before starting my presentation, I thank the organizers and all the participants for making time for today. Okay. So you know about this coronavirus. So we know a lot about that, but there is a lot mystery remaining about this. I hope my audio is clear. Is my audio clear?
Yes, ma'am. It's clear. It's
It's
clear.
clear. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll share the screen. Can you see my slides? Can you see my slide?
Yes, ma'am. We can.
You can see it in presenter mode, right? Okay. So today's topic is new Delta plus variant and Pandora box. So whether it is or not, so we'll know. So for today's information, so what is today's information? I can give till today. What we know, I can give. But this virus, there is a lot we know, but there is more than that we don't know. So this virus is evolving. Before my presentation, I have to put this disclaimer. So today's my presentation is not just this sentences, theory class or something. It's full of pictorial presentation. So I had to rely on internet for all so many pictures. So this disclaimer I have to put. So I've taken all the images from all these websites. If at all I have missed, so it is because of it's unintentional. Okay. So all the images I've taken from this sources, internet sources. So, what is this coronavirus? So, as you all know, it is a RNA virus with protein spikes. So, this protein spikes looks like a crown. So, that's why the name coronavirus came. Talking about the timeline, you know about this. I just thought I'll reinforce that. So, in 2019, it was in Wuhan, China, where this virus was first noticed. And WHO got the alert from China in December 31, that is 2019. So after that, the series of the lockdowns and the series of cases around the world. And on January 13, it was reported in Thailand. That was the first case outside the China. And then, the US, Spain, USA, and lot of the developed nations also became victim of this. It did not leave any country. So almost all countries of the world were affected by this. And WHO gave this coronavirus causing COVID-19 disease. So this COVID-19 is a disease name. So this name came on February 11th. So if you get confused by what is this COVID-19, what is this the virus and all these things. So COVID-19 is a disease name caused by this coronavirus. And this virus causing COVID-19 disease is called as SARS-CoV-2. Okay, SARS-CoV-2, severe acute respiratory distress syndrome, CoV-2 it is called as. And this virus was responsible for the pandemic and is responsible for the ongoing pandemic. As you all know, so I'm not going to speak much about this. So virus, how it infected. So from one person, how it spread rampantly and it spread across the globe. The symptoms, again, you know about this: the fever, chills, cough, shortness of breath, muscle, body aches. And the feature of this, the characteristic feature of this COVID-19 became this loss of taste and smell. And what happened next? So you all know. So the healthcare professionals had to, they were at tremendous work burden. They had to go under, they had to be in PPE, and the world, which was carefree, had to go into under mask. In fact, whole world was under mask. From we were together, we had to maintain social distance. The series of lockdowns, India and around the world, collapse of economy. So all this followed with the pandemic, and it's still ongoing. So around September, so there was a peak of first wave, that is September 2020. Then the second wave, it came at the end of March. April, May, June was the peak of this second wave, where we had many number of cases. Okay, next, moving on, talking about the variants of this coronavirus causing COVID-19 disease, which is SARS-CoV-2. So if you see, actually, if you talk about the coronavirus itself, there are many variants, like MERS, that is Middle Eastern Respiratory Disease Syndrome, and we have so many other viruses follows on. So I'll not gonna touch upon that. So I'll stick to this COVID-19 causing coronavirus. So how they increase in their number? So they replicate, so they multiply. That's how their replication happens. So with that, virus undergoes mutation. So during this replication, it undergoes mutation. So what is this mutations? I hope you're aware of this RNA, DNAs. RNAs are made up of amino acids, which are basically protein. So any change in the base pairs of these proteins, like amino acids, leads to mutation. And that causes the variants, mutant variant. So now in this today's topic, I'll be talking about Delta, but I'm sure you have heard of all this: alpha, beta, gamma, delta, lambda, eta, theta, and all. Okay, so it is nothing but they're all the mutants, as you see this X-Men. So they're all the mutant variations of the original coronavirus, which caused COVID-19 in early 2020s. So are these variants worrisome? Yes. Why? So these variants, so alpha, beta, gamma, delta, so whatever, so many variants came followed after the original COVID-19 causing the coronavirus came. So what was the characteristics of this? Was this increased spread? The transmission of disease was so much high. When we're talking about the alpha, there was 60% higher than the original virus, the coronavirus, the alpha variant. When came the delta, delta had even more transmission. The spread was even more with the delta variant. The infectivity, the infection was very high. The severity of infection was high. So the disease pattern presentation kept on changing. So some had mild, some had severe disease, some had moderate, some required hospitalization, some did not require hospitalization, some required ventilator. Uh, can you please keep your audio mute? I can see some, I can hear some noise. Please check your audio, participants. Can you please, can you keep it in mute? And also with these new variants coming in, the effectiveness of public health measures and vaccine, all the available treatment went down. So whatever the health measures were taken, the vaccines were available, and the treatments were available were not effective or not at all effective against these new variants. So this SARS COVID-2, so that is coronavirus causing COVID-19 disease. So the WHO classified this, this is a technical team the WHO has, which classified this into two categories like variants of this classification came. So this already existed, but there was reclassification done. So there are some variants which were removed from the concern and category, like alpha. As of now, it's only alpha, beta, gamma, delta. According to the July 7th, 2021 statistics, only these four variants, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, they are considered as variants of concern. Okay, so the variants of concern were alpha, beta, gamma, delta. So why they are called as variants of concern? Because these variants came with additional health risk to the all the general population, and variants of interest. So all these variants they had potential for causing health risk. They all these variants requires close monitoring of these strains. So here again the four strains, eta, iota, kappa, lambda. So all these other strains, they are variants of interest. So this, I thought I'll put this terminologies because they are very commonly used, variants of concern, variants of interest. So you have heard of theta, epsilon. They all were there under variants of interest, but they were again reclassified and removed from this variants of interest. So talking about the variants of concern, uh, you would have you would feel when there is this name, this coronavirus, the SARS-CoV-2. Why all this alpha, beta, gamma, delta? So WHO has given the names to different strains, and you can see that B.1.17. I'm not going to talk about that scientific name. So this is the scientific name. So WHO, when we talk commonly, so this alpha, beta, gamma, delta variants can be used. That is easier for us to communicate rather than talking about B.1, 1.17. So no one will understand, nor we will remember that. So alpha, beta, gamma, delta is this names easy to remember also. So the alpha, which was first found in UK in September 2020. So you know what happened following that? The full UK went into lockdown. So the December, the winter whole, there was extensive increased number of cases, and it went to lockdown. So the name alpha came in the December 18, 2020. So what was the concern about this? Spreads more rapidly. So I said previously also, alpha had about 60% more spread than its original variant. Then came the beta. So it was identified in South Africa, May 2020. So this also got the designation of name of beta the same time. So what this strain had was, it had significant resistance to the treatment. So whatever the treatment was available was not effective against them. And also the vaccine efficacy. So the vaccine was not that great effective against this strain. Then gamma, it was first seen in Brazil. So again, it created havoc in Brazil, and so again the Brazil went into lockdown, and healthcare system was overwhelmed. So what features of this? What was the features concerning about the gamma? Again, the infectivity, not effective against the available treatment. So the vaccine efficacy was not that great. Okay. Next, coming to the delta, so which we are interested today. So delta, it was first found in October in India in 2020. So on May 11, 2021, the WHO technical team, so they gave this name as delta during May, that is this year, May 2021. So what was the concern? Spreads more rapidly. So the transmission was even higher, the 50 to 6% higher than the alpha. Okay, alpha was spreading faster, but delta was spreading even more faster, and it was resistant to almost all available treatment. It was not responding to any of the available approved treatments. So alpha, which was found in first found in UK, then spread to 173 countries. Beta variant, which was seen first in South Africa, it was spread to at least 122 countries. And Gamma, which was first seen in Brazil, spread to at least 74 countries. And you know this Delta. So that was first Delta variant. It was first seen in India. So later it spread to 111 countries and created havocs. So why these new names? Just a minute. So why these new names? Sorry for that interruption. I had some issue here. So the new names, yeah, I said already. So previously this coronavirus and some viruses have been given the regional name. It was thought that it need not be given that regional name. So that's why the WHO came with, the technical team came up with these new names: Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, for the different strains. Talking about the Delta variant, the mutation. So hope you know what is mutation by now. At least I would have heard here and there. The basically mutation is nothing but a change in the genetic material. I hope my audio is clear. I hear a lot of disturbances around here. Katyayani, can you tell me? Is my audio clear?
It's clear. It's clear,
Clear.
ma'am. We don't have any issues.
Okay, okay. Because here I'm getting a lot of disturbances. Because I had to, because of internet issue, I had to change my place. I came to a different room and hear a lot of noises there. Okay, I'm so sorry for that.
For
If at
us,
all
your audio is clear.
clear. Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you. So the Delta variant. So I was talking about the mutation. So mutation is nothing but the change in the genetic content of any species. So here we are talking about the virus. The virus multiplies like anything. So it replicates. So during this multiplication, even single change in their genetic content causes mutation. Okay. So this mutation need not be always what you say, it's stronger. Sometimes it weakens the virus also. The virus sometimes weakens and dies. If it is stronger, then itself becomes one strain. So that's how all this, the alpha, beta, gamma, delta variants came from the original coronavirus causing COVID-19. So this is the virus. So the mutation has happened in these spikes. Okay, so I hope you can see the cursor. So these are the spikes where the mutation has occurred. And with this mutation, there will be changes in the shape and behavior of the virus. So when this virus shapes and behavior changes, so what happened with this Delta variant was, so the spike protein which had changed. So this spike protein, what I'm talking about here is, these are the spike proteins which I'm talking about this. So it has made this virus to be to connect or to attach to the human cells easily. So it attaches to the human cells easily because of this mutation. So with that, infection of the human cells also became high. So it allows the virus to attach easily to the human cells, and the infection also was high. So what happened once this virus, with all the change in the behavior attached to the human cells, multiplies with increased infectiousness. and does more damage than the original virus strain. Okay, so what are the concerns of this Delta? Okay, so what are the concerns of this Delta? So as I already said, not only Delta, all the variants have all these concerns. But talking about specifically about the Delta, so spreads very fast, easily. It binds to lung cells easily. And the transmission was 55% to 60% more than the alpha. So the transmission or the spread is very fast. The infection spread was very fast with this Delta. Infectiousness, the how this virus infects. So it was twice as the original strain from the early 2020. So that's why we see we are at a time we saw a very high load of patients. So many patients were turning COVID positive. So why this infectious was high? So one study said that this patients who were positive for the Delta variant, they had this viral particles in their nose and throat. So when they coughed and sneezed, so the spread was more. And hospital admission. So the chance of hospital admission was about 1.2 to 2 times more than the alpha variant. So this was another greatest concern. So a concern with the Delta. So what happened during the second wave. So there was shortage of beds, there was shortage of the remdesivir, shortage of oxygen. Uh, so there was shortage of so many the resources, human resources, as well as all the resources went into shortage. The broader array of symptoms. What I'm trying to say here is symptoms. You name any symptoms, we could attribute to the COVID-19, except for pregnancy. So any symptoms was discovered. So there were new every day. Some new symptoms were coming into picture. And this Delta variant was resistant to monoclonal antibody and the available treatment. So these are the concerns of Delta. So the spread was fast, infectiousness with this Delta variant was more, hospital admission is more, and the symptoms were very wide and vague, and it was not responding to the available treatment. So these were the concerns of Delta. Hope you're following. So I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. And the coronavirus loves the gathering and our guards off, the mask off, everything. Then we saw the havocs of second wave in India. So this Delta variant was responsible for second wave in India. So what it caused, I already told about this. Healthcare system was overwhelmed. There was shortage of beds, shortage of oxygen, shortage of human resources as well. What are the symptoms of Delta variant? I was telling the broader array of symptoms. There were so many symptoms. The everyday new symptoms were coming up. But the common symptoms were fever that we all know, cough, fatigue and tiredness, the loss of taste or smell, sore throat, headache, the body pains and aches, diarrhea, rash on the skin or discoloration of fingers or toes, red or irritated eyes like a conjunctivitis. So some severe symptoms like shortness of breath, the person can have difficulty in breathing, uh, loss of speech or mobility or confusion. So this loss of speech was one of the severe but rare feature of this Delta variant. And chest pain, so fever, cough, tiredness, loss of taste, we all knew. So sore throat, headache, aches, diarrhea, vomiting was seen along with that. Rashes were seen on the skin, which was not seen with the original COVID-19 variant. The discoloration of fingers or toes. What it means is, this coronavirus can can cause blood clots in the fingers or the toes. So because of that, this fingers or the toes could have turned to blue. So that is what this discoloration of fingers or toes mean. Now talking about the Delta plus variants. So Delta plus variants are AY1 or AY2, AY.2. So I'll just keep it as Delta plus. So Delta evolved into Delta plus. So it was first found during the routine genetic screening of the virus. There are so many genetic centers, viral genetic centers, genomic centers, which screen and sequence this genetic genetic material. So during that routine screening, this was found. Delta plus is itself a variant of Delta. So Delta has evolved into Delta plus. So whatever the characteristic features of Delta I've told holds good for Delta plus as well. So how are these Delta variants different? So this is the virus causing COVID-19, that is SARS-CoV-2. This had mutation of all these. I don't want you to remember or read about that. Just wanted to highlight what the difference is. So this coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2, with all these mutations became Delta. And Delta, again with the mutations, that is K417N mutation, became Delta plus. So in Delta plus also we have some variants, AY.1, AY.2, AY.3 also has come now. So Delta plus variant was first seen in Europe in March 2021. So you can see it was seen first in March, but I also read about a literature telling it was first seen in April in Maharashtra in India. And this notification to the public domain was done on June 13. So that's where the panic bell rang about this Delta plus, when we already were still under the effect of Delta, and Delta plus came. Why it created panic among the healthcare professionals, the policy makers, and the general public. So we all know that as the virus evolves, there will be change in their characteristics. It becomes more stronger. Its infectivity increases. All this has been seen with this coronavirus. Plus, so what was why this WHO and the health system, the policymakers were worried. So this mutation, which I told in my previous slide with the Delta plus variant, that mutation is similar to that the Beta variant. So Beta had the similar mutation which was first detected in South Africa. So that also created havocs. So this mutation was similar. So that's why when it was notified to public, even the WHO, everyone were panicked about this Delta plus variant. So this statistics I found is of June 7th. So Delta plus cases in world. So there are, as of June 7, there were 6 cases from India, and across the world there were some 57 cases from different countries from Europe, Asia, and America. But presently, coming to the information what I got till today, there are about 60 to 70 cases of Delta plus variants in India, and there are very few hospitalization of 2 to 3 deaths. They were not vaccinated. Okay, and the 60-70 cases which were found in that, also majority of them were not vaccinated. So Delta plus AY.1 is seen in many of the states in our country: Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, MP, Kerala, Punjab, Gujarat, Odisha, and has come to Karnataka as well. So Delta plus AY.2 is also reported in small numbers in Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, and in Karnataka also, in our state also. So AY.2, that is, so what is AY.1, AY.2 I'm talking about, they are Delta plus. Okay, so Delta plus COVID-19 causing coronavirus. It's also seen in other countries, Turkey, USA, Portugal, India. Okay, so this virus was seen in March and now it is July. So the number is around 100 or 200. So the number has not increased much. So I could not get the exact number, but it is not more. It's in hundreds something. Symptoms of Delta plus variants. So first we talked about COVID-19 symptoms, which you all know. So the Delta symptoms also majorly you know about this, you would have heard about this. Okay, and Delta plus variant symptoms. It was fever, cough, tiredness, sore throat, rash, rash on the skin, discoloration of fingers or toes. So fever, cough, see the symptoms, and shortness of breath was also seen in this Delta plus coronavirus. Do you see any difference with the symptoms of Delta or Delta plus variants? Do you see? Okay, you can reply in the chat box. I talked about Delta, COVID-19. I talked about the Delta and the Delta plus. Can you see any difference with the symptoms? Can you reply in the chat box? Katyani, are anyone replying in the chat box? Katyani?
No, no, nobody has replied still.
Okay. So the difference, do you see? So I'll only say about that. No. So symptoms wise, we cannot differentiate between whether it's a original novel coronavirus which is causing COVID-19 or the Delta plus. So if any patient goes to hospital with all these symptoms and RT-PCR is done, that is swab test is done for that from throat or nose, if it comes positive, we cannot differentiate with that whether this person has alpha variant, Delta or Delta plus. So this I found a reference in the internet. So the symptoms of common cold like runny nose, sore throat, cough, COVID, the fever, dry cough, loss of smell and taste. So the Delta variants, they had majorly headache, sore throat, runny nose. Who are vulnerable to Delta or Delta plus variant infection? So the unvaccinated people, like children, the young less than 15 years, people who have some comorbidities. So what are these comorbidities? Like they have hypertension, diabetes, or they have some cancer. So all any comorbidities, and elderly above 80 years, and patients who have undergone organ transplants. So all these are more vulnerable to this Delta or Delta plus variant infection. Is Delta plus threat to children? It's too early to say about that. So we don't have much information. So it was found in March and till July. So we don't have much number of cases. Is Delta plus variant dangerous? Okay. So during second week of July 2021, a scientist from this organization, that is Indian SARS-CoV-2 Consortium on Genomics, that is called INSACOG. So this is the a consortium which does this genomic coding of this virus. A senior scientist from that organization said, so far there is no huge increase in cases in countries where this Delta plus variants were reported, like in our country, India, or in UK, US, so where this Delta plus variants were seen. There is no increase in number of cases as of now. So what information I'm giving is the information I got till today. So by the time I finish my sentence, there may be some change happening and I may prove wrong. But for today, this is the thing. So there is no huge increase in number of cases in any countries or the states where this Delta plus variants were found. And also on 15th July, the same organization, INSCOG, said that Delta variant is the dominant lineage for new cases across all parts of India in recent samples. So whatever that, this organization, they screened the samples of this coronavirus to check which variant they are. So majorly they all were Delta variants. There was no seeing of Delta plus variants. And still today, Delta variants have been increasing in number. So the good news for today is, again, I'm telling this is today's good news. By the end of my sentence or by the end of this presentation, I may be proved wrong. So good news for now is there is no increase in spread of Delta plus variants, A.1, AY.1, AY.2. So as of now, there is no increase in spreads. You can see, so it was detected in March, so now July. So if there would have been increased spread with this Delta plus, the number of cases would have skyrocketed. So the number of cases would have increased, but it is not seen till date. So the same organization which I was talking about, so which does genetic coding for this coronavirus, said that so the regions which already had Delta outbreaks would not have major problems with Delta plus variants. Why? So the regions which already had Delta cases will not have major problem with Delta plus variants. Why? Because this Delta virus have already created some immunity among us by natural infection or by cross infection. So some immunity has been produced by this Delta. So this cross neutralizes the Delta plus. So that is the good news. So when this Delta plus was detected or was announced, so that was the big concern, the spread of this virus. There may be rampant spread or the infection will be more. But the information till today, what we have is there is no increase in the spread because of this Delta plus. It is still the Delta variant which is spreading. But we can see there is actually the fall in number of cases. But except for few states like Kerala and Maharashtra, the numbers are increasing. But in majority of the states, the coronavirus, the COVID-19 cases are falling. Is Delta variant associated with chance of reinfection? UK data says no. I did not get any Indian data. The reinfection. What is this reinfection? Once the person has got COVID-19, whether again he will get. So is Delta variant is responsible for that reinfection, again infection with the COVID-19? The UK data says no. So in UK, where they did study about this, all these variants, majorly the sample was alpha variant, who had reinfection. They tested the samples of the patients who had coronavirus reinfection when they had infection second time. So their majority of the patients, it was alpha variant of coronavirus. How can we control this variants from mutating? So increase in number of testing, quarantine the contacts, isolation of positive cases. So the isolation, so whatever said in lockdown, no lockdown, whatever the number of cases is, the positive person who has come COVID-19 positive, they have to isolate themselves. The contacts of these patients have to be quarantined, creating containment zone so that the virus doesn't spread, treating effectively all these positive patients. Vaccination. So vaccination is the key. Break the chain of spread. So once the virus spread is reduced or broken, that chain is broken, these mutants do not evolve irrespective of variants. So whatever if we control the transmission, if we can control the spread, we can control the mutation. The mutation can be controlled to some extent. Does the vaccination provide complete protection? So there is a lot of saying about this. So vaccination person still can get COVID-19. So what it helps? It helps in reducing the severity, reduces hospital admission, reduces the death. So that is, so vaccination does provide protection, but it's not, it cannot say it's complete protection. It reduces the severity, it reduces hospital admission. So vaccination reduces the spread of virus. The transmission of this virus can be reduced by vaccination. So vaccinated person can be a carrier of coronavirus and can spread to COVID-19 to others. So vaccinated person may not have any symptoms, but he can be a carrier of coronavirus and he can spread to other normal people. So vaccinated or not vaccinated, the person has to wear mask. So vaccines will not say will never guarantee that you will not get COVID-19. Yes, there is possibility of getting COVID-19 if he has an exposure. Whether existing vaccine work against Delta variant? So this was the question or the frequently which was asked by the public domain. So whether this existing vaccine work against this Delta variant? Yes. So we have some data for these vaccines: the Moderna, Pfizer BioNTech vaccine, Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. So the data for this vaccine. So you can see how much vaccines are effective with Pfizer BioNTech. So you can see the effectiveness after first dose and after second dose. With Pfizer vaccine, so it was 88% against this Delta variant. And whereas with AstraZeneca, it is effective, but lesser compared to this Pfizer vaccine. Protection from hospital admission, you can see with Pfizer BioNTech vaccine. So after second dose, it was 96%. So the hospital admission reduction with Delta variant was 96% reduction, in AstraZeneca 92% after second dose. So all these are are found in the studies. Okay. So the another question which we commonly come across is which vaccine to take? The Covishield, Covaxin, Sputnik, or Moderna. Okay, before that, can you tell me the difference between the colors in all the four? All four blues are different shades. Can you tell me the which blue of which has which blue? You can put it up in the comment section. You can reply in the comment section. Okay, so I think there is no comment. So take vaccine whichever is available to you. Okay. So talking about the Covishield, so the Covishield data is available even one dose of Covishield is effective over 70% in protecting from the severe disease and hospital admission from Delta variant. Okay, so Covishield data we have, so 70% effective in protecting from severe disease and hospital admission. So even Covaxin has been found to be effective. So all these vaccines, so they provide some protection against this Delta variants, not only Delta, other variants as well. May not be same as compared to the Alpha variant. So all these vaccines were actually produced for the original strain. So, but later this virus evolved. Still, these vaccines have been found effective to this Delta strains. Talking about the booster vaccine, I hope you know about this DPT. When your children you get, and at the age of 10 years and 15 years, you get the booster dose. 5 years, 10 years, you're getting booster dose. So in the same way, so the authorities is thinking for this booster dose so that the effectiveness of vaccine increases. In UK, they actually, I read somewhere this, in UK, they are planning to start booster dose in September sometime in this year. Yeah. So before booster dose given, the whole population has to be vaccinated with 2 doses. So did we learn our lesson from the first wave, second wave? What do you feel? Please reply in the chat section. No. So this was the picture came, I think the first or second week of July in Manali. So this was the meme. So from no beds in hospital to no beds in hotel. And another question. So we get to hear on day-to-day basis, when will the third wave hit? When? What do you think? So some experts say 6 weeks, some experts say July, August, September. So have you heard and read all possible months talking we'll get third wave during this month of this year. But it completely depends upon our behavior. So we will be responsible for the third wave. So if this continues, so it will be in near future, we will go to the state of no beds in hospital, shortage of the resources, all the healthcare, the manpower resources. Talking about the prevention and precaution, you all know about this. Still, I cannot finish my presentation without talking about this. Go out only if essential. So every day when you call, you hear this. Yes, I have to tell about this, stress about this. Go out only if it is essential. Yeah. When you're out, wear mask. And when you're wearing mask, look into that. It covers nose and mouth, not just mouth. It has to cover nose. The virus can enter and exit through nose. Distance. So maintain that social distance. Wash hands, at least for 20 seconds. Don't touch your face, the eyes, nose, or mouth unnecessarily. If you're sick with COVID-19 or any, please stay at home, only come out for the medical care. So when the person has cough or cold, if he's coughing or sneezes, so cover the nose and mouth with the tissue and dispose this tissue safely in a covered dustbin and wash your hands. Refrain from smoking and any other activity which weakens the lungs. And avoid unnecessary traveling till the world is safe for travel. And most importantly, for everything, for the precaution, the prevention, reduction of transmission, everything, get vaccinated. Whenever it is available, get vaccinated. Will ever life turn back to normal? How was we BC before Corona? Yes, it is. It is possible, as experts say, when herd immunity develops. When will this herd immunity develop? When this population, about 70 to 85% of population gets vaccinated or immunized or infected. So we'll not talk about the infection. So we will talk about, or we'll hope for the vaccination. So when 70 to 85% of population gets vaccinated, the herd immunity may develop. So we'll hope that that day comes earlier and we'll be free of this pandemic. So all these are the expert opinion which I read in articles. Okay. So what is the take home message? So as I said before, this virus is evolving, disease is evolving, and so is the treatment. Treatment is evolving. So this is a new virus. We know something, but we don't know a lot about this virus. It's mutating day by day. So a lot of new strains are coming. So we don't have any definite book for this to go for the information, and we don't have definite literature to fall back on about this virus. Get jabbed at earliest. So whenever you get the chance, get jabbed. Vaccinated, you're vaccinated or not vaccinated, wear mask, keep your distance, maintain social distance, clean your hands. And when India unlocks, don't take it off. Don't put down your guards. Don't remove your mask. Don't go for gathering. Avoid unnecessary gathering and travel. So this is the take-home message. So we have alpha, beta, gamma, delta, lambda, kappa, theta, epsilon, iota, so many. So what's next? Is it sine theta by cos theta? So will we run out of all these symbols? Picture abhi baki hai. Thank you, Mrs. Sushma, Katyayani, and whole team of Jindal College for giving me an opportunity. Thank you. And also I thank Dr. Vinod, to whom I got this opportunity, and have these are my references, and I have some references also here. Uh, Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a nice presentation actually. So on behalf of my organization Jindal, so I wholeheartedly thank you for the session what you have presented to us. So many of us have got the information regarding Delta, what it is and how much care we need to take. So thank you for that.
Thank
And
you.
we hope for the future sessions also.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you,
Any
ma'am.
questions from the participants?
Yeah, a few they have posted in comments.
Is it? Can you read it out to me?
Yeah, just a second. Please give us the information about which age group and who are suffered more for the Delta.
Okay. So with Delta, it was the younger group which was more affected. Younger group, the less than 50. Why? One saying about this was because the elder above 45, the 60 plus were already vaccinated, and the younger group, they were active, they were going out and mingling, everything was happening. So that is the possibility why this younger group was affected more.
And everything looks similar. Somebody has chatted. Does everything look similar?
Yeah, if you talk about the symptom wise, yes, it looks similar. So if a person comes and tests COVID-19, symptom wise, and if you see that RT-PCR, the nasal swab or the throat swab, you'd see that no one can say that this is a delta, this is alpha, this is delta plus. It's only after the genome sequencing it will be known. Symptom wise, yes, there is no, they all look similar.
That's all, ma'am.
Okay. As I said, the take home message. Uh, so don't put your guards off. So there's another unlock point 4 or 5. I don't know, something has happened today. So unlock kept on happening. So don't put your guards down. So wear mask. So with our behavior, so we will be responsible for third wave, and we'll be deciding when we'll have third wave. So whenever you get chance, get vaccinated, and motivate others also to get vaccination. Okay. That's all I think.
Yep, sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. And the other participant can leave the session. Thank you so much.